Okay. So this Maamar, gerade today's Chafei Elul, right? So the Brias Ilmus. This Maamar addresses this, addresses in the Kuda. So the plan is we're going to go through, let's say, 3-4 sifim a day. Try to finish it over the next few days. It shouldn't be. It's not too hard. The concepts aren't necessarily such difficult concepts, but let's try and move through it. Okay, let's start with Sif Aleph. So Sif Aleph, I think most of you managed to get through already, to some extent. Sif Aleph is basically musid on the Shailis, which it asks in many different Maamar Chassidus. Ever goes to the names of all the Rebbeim to show that every Rebbe has a Maamar on this pasuk, which discusses this pasuk, and asks the same Shailis on this pasuk again and again and again. Right, so the really the Rebbe kind of puts into it's one Shiur which that puts in from a few angles, from like 3 different perspectives. The idea that it says about on a pasuk describes the Shoshana, right, which you say is part of the davening. It's not a pasuk. It's a chelik of nusach atfil, which you say on Rosh Hashanah. You say today, this is the day when everything began. Right, Zikaron Rishon. Today we remember what happened in Sheish Meibreish is the first day. So what's the Rishon? Why is this the beginning? Since when is this the beginning? We know that Chafei Elul in the world was actually created. Rosh Hashanah is Aleph Tishrei is when Adam Rishon was created. Right? This is only the 6th day of Ma'aseh Bereishis. Rabbi asks from a few angles. Number one, why do we call this Tchila? Why do we call this Yom Rishon, the beginning? Why is it Take on the 6th day? Why isn't Rosh Hashanah Chafei Elul? And third Shaila, more general Shaila, is that Rosh Hashanah is not just a day for us, not just a day for people. Rosh Hashanah is a day where the Eibishter judges the whole entire world. Right? The Eibishter is we know in the Satan Tekef, right? That every single thing passes in front of the Eibishter and gets judged on Rosh Hashanah. So l'cha'ira, why did the Eibishter make Rosh Hashanah dafka on the day when all the Rishon was created? Ma'kesher. It would be much more appropriate to have made it on the day the whole world started, because it's something we should get for the whole world. And basically what all the Maamar explain, again, this is not yet even a point that was in Mechadish here. All the Maamar explain that this pasuk isn't just there's more than just pasuk pshat in this pasuk. Pasuk isn't just saying that this is the day when everything began. The pasuk is saying that this is a day which connected to the idea of Zeh. Zeh hayom tchilas masecha zikaron rishon. Today is a day where we connect to this madrega, this dark which we call Zeh. Right, so this is a more beremez in the pasuk, more pnimis inyanim. But that's how it's explained in other places. Right? Some Maamar give like different answers. That why do we call it the beginning of creation? Because this is where Tchilas Masecha means that the purpose, the intent, the kavanah that there was from the beginning of the creation was realized on this day. Right? Again, with the creation of Adam Rishon, was able to serve the Eibishter. Right? And this matter is focusing on the idea of Zeh. Now let's explain the Kitzer between Zeh and Koi. What's the idea of Zeh? And then the Maya takes it like further deeper. Yeah. But very pashtus, we know this from a lot of other places in Chassidus, that the idea of Zeh means something which is tangible. You can point on it. You say, this is what it is. It means that theoretically a person can understand things, a person can know things, right? But doesn't necessarily feel them, can't necessarily point on them, can't necessarily connect with them in a tangible way. And the pashtus, the idea would be that the difference if a person connects something tangibly or not, is not in what you understand, but how you understand it. Right? In other words, a person can have the same concept. Let's say this idea in Chassidus, or something which he understands about the Eibishter, and you can understand it in seichel, can understand it in theory, or you can actually see it. You can actually see it play itself out in real life. Right? That would be the difference between koi and zeh. Koi is something which is more, if you want to say fuzzy, more unfocused. It's something like this. Right? I understand the concept, the idea. I understand what it's about, but I don't actually see it. I don't actually connect with it. Zeh is pshat that no, this is something which is as real as anything else in the world is. Right? That's generally the idea between Koy and Zen. Right? We know this. We discussed this in regards to how Moshe Rabbeinu was higher than all the other Nevi'im. How all the other Nevi'im always said Koy Amar Hashem. That this is what Hashem said, but this the Koy is approximately this, something like that. Because when they got a nevuah from Eibishter, it was usually through a mashal. It was usually through they saw something different. It wasn't clear exactly what they saw, and then they understood based on whatever the Eibishter showed them what the Eibishter wants them to say. Moshe Rabbeinu said would use the lashon zeh. Zeh means the Eibishter spoke to Moshe Rabbeinu face to face, upon him, and there was no lack of clarity in what he saw. Right? There's no lack of clarity in what he received from the Eibishter. It wasn't approximate. It wasn't around. It was real. It was tangible. So the idea is that Maamar uses this concept to answer why Rosh Hashanah is the way it is now on the 6th day of creation, the day when all the Rishon was created. The whole purpose of Rosh Hashanah, again, is not just a stama dinul mishpat on if a person is going to live or going to die. Yeah. Where there again the question would be that this is a din mission not just on us, a din mission on everybody and everything. Rosh Hashanah is about bringing the idea of Zen to the world. The whole idea of Rosh Hashanah is to reveal Elikus, to reveal the Eibishter in the world in a tangible and a real way. That's what Rosh Hashanah is all about. That's a teichen hapnimi. That's what Rosh Hashanah represents. To reveal the Eibishter in the world in a real and tangible way. Now, for that, right, you need someone to do that. You need that doesn't happen automatically. Right, so we're going to explain soon how it comes about and what brings that about. But it's not the way the Eibishter created the world. The Eibishter created the world in a way that we don't have a tangible perception on Elikus. Right, that the amount of a connection we can have to the Eibishter is a worldly connection. It's through the filter, through the lenses of our perspective. It's not something which we can point at, we can see, we can feel. And dafke, a person, a Yid, Adam Rishon, starting from him, but more specifically through Yidden, we have the koyach to actually reveal the Eibishter in the world in a real and a tangible way. And here is this something which is dafke for people being created on the 6th day of creation, on Echa B'Tishrei. That's when the Eibishter was gevea to be Rosh Hashanah. That's on that day is the day what we say Zeh. Right. That's what it's explained in all the Maamarim. That's what that would pretty much brings in stuff out. That's how we answer those three shaylas. Now, so Beis continues. That was explaining. In order to appreciate what Zeh is all about, you have to first appreciate what Koy is. Until now, we're explaining Koy on a very basic level. Right? We're explaining Koy as meaning that's whatever a person has some kind of perception of the Eibishter, very limited, very not clear. And Zeh means it's actually tangible, it's actually real, it's Lamato. The Rabbi explains it's not so simple. Koy is not till the 6th day of creation, the world had this relationship to Eibishter in a way of Koy. It means that in Sheish Mei Breishis, that's what was going on. In other words, that Koy isn't just a problem which we have. Koy isn't just pshat, the weird, lowly nevraim, and we can't sense the Eibishter in a real way, so we only have Koy. Koy is something as a seder, how the Eibishter created the world, and something which was made by the Eibishter Melukat. In other words, Koy was something which is also a very high and very real level, a real inyan. It was something which the Eibishter, it was the way that the world was run. The first 6 days of creation, when the Eibishter was mamish creating the world, and however high Koy is, however good Koy is, it still doesn't come to Zeh. Zeh is even better, right? So if you want to really appreciate what Zeh is, we have to first understand well what this Koy is all about. Understand that Zeh goes even beyond that, even further, even more. So Beis, the Pasha goes through a list of things which were special in the Sheish Mei Breishis, which before all the mission was created. And again, based on that, we can appreciate more what we accomplished. So fine. First of all, so it goes through it. Like I was shikon akal COVID from something more simple to more and more deep. So number one, the fact that the whole world was created yesh ma'ayin in the Sheish Mei Breishis. Now, right, creation of yesh ma'ayin is an obvious expression of Elikus which is unparalleled. Yeah, we can't. No nivra can create yesh ma'ayin. No badrega in Alikus can create yesh ma'ayin. The only thing that creates yesh ma'ayin is only the Eibishter. The Eibishter gives his koyach himself sometimes to Asher Madrega or to people, but yesh ma'ayin is the Eibishter's thing, right? Yesh ma'ayin is something which only Atzmahus can do. As we know, it says in Tanya, right, in Gersa Kodesh, that only the Eibishter, which is a real Metzias for himself, is not limited to have been made by an outside force, is able to make all the things happen. Right? Since we are by definition limited, we're by definition made beings. We were created, so we're limited to our own self, to our own Metzias. We can't make anything new. Can't make anything outside of ourselves. Only something which is completely unlimited and not defined by an outside source. It's real for itself. It's true mitzvah itself. Is able to create something new outside of itself. Right? Only the Eibush is able to create something new. Right? So now he goes a little more specifically that till now we're seeing the whole 6 states of creation. Right? Was this idea of the Eibush created? More specifically, he says first day of creation. Again, Chofei Elul, that's when Koi, Chofei, is in its full form. So, the first day of creation, Chofei Elul, is when really the Eibishter created the whole entire world. And when this Atzmus ability to create what's revealed was brought out in full form. The idea is like this, yeah? He mentions here a concept which is discussed here very bekitzer, discussed all the places very much at length. The fact, first of all, I'm saying we have it's a concept which is discussed not in Chassidus, discussed in Nigla, yeah? The idea that the world was created in a way of klal and prat, right? The idea that the world was created not... the Eibush didn't wait till, second, third, fourth day of creation in order to make the Nevroim which were made then. The Eibush made everything right away, made everything right on the first day of creation. After it was only a question of the Eibush shaping and forming that which he made already. It's the famous thing which brought, if I'm not mistaken, from the Ramban. Yeah, we know that there's 10 Maamars. What are the 10? What are the Asar Maamars? The first one of the 10 Maamars, first of the Asar Maamars, was Bereishis Bara Elokim. Bereishis Bara Elokim is one of the Asar Maamars. Now, that's very weird, right? It doesn't say Vayomer, it doesn't say what the Eibishter did, what the Eibishter made. Bara Elokim is Shemayim is Oretz. And I would think this is just an introduction statement to everything which it says later in Torah. It's not actually something which the Eibishter did. It's something which the Eibishter made, right? To explain, this is the Pashtani Amikra. This is not even yet in Chassidus. That Bereishis Bara Elokim means Hashem Taka made everything then, but He made it as what it's called a Chomer Hayuli. Chomer Hayuli means a undefined form. He made it's a concept of a form which is not yet actually made into the details of the way we know it. The Eibishter made an existence, the concept of existing. Now that concept of existing, the question is, how do you exist? So how is already that's already explaining how this existence you made before is going to exist. The concept of going from non-existing to existing wasn't the first day. That was the Bereishis Bara Elokim. And that concept of existence, again, we all have exactly the same way. I exist the same way the table exists, the same way animals, plants, we all exist the same way. And the whole difference we see between a table, a person, a plant, an animal, is all a further detail, is all a further development, which happened over the next few days, which happened only after. So the idea is that this is something which you already find even basic, even in Nigla, even in the Mefarshe Hamikra. The point which you get from this, though, is that the first day of creation already essentially did everything. In other words, whatever the Eibishter was Megal of himself, whatever Kyochel took the Eibishter to do, to create the world, he did on the first day. That was what happened Chofei Elul. Right? And there's nothing added later. What was added later was only just, so to say, explaining that what he did already, only bringing out that what he did already, only completing. Any real pu'ula, any real act which was supposed to have happened on the first day. Which means right away, tells us right away, again, Chofei Elul, was a very special event. How much it's only koi, it's only unfocused, you can't see it, it's not tangible. This is a full expression of bitu and a gilui of atzmus and sof, the Eibishter's ability to create. And that goes weiter, that what was created. So until now we're speaking about the world, the world. Again, we learn from the Ramban, means anything which you see that exists, anything which is said in the Maamar, which means the sky, the earth, the plants, animals, eventually even the people also, the body of a person is created from dust, which is weiter, extension of what was created on the first day. It continues later, not only, also, what about Emes Ruchni? What about spiritual worlds? When they come about? So, the idea is that spiritual worlds are also created, right? Atzilus wasn't always existing. The Eibishter had to decide to make Atzilus, right? Atzilus is not the Eibishter. Atzilus is not a Kadmon like the Eibishter is. Atzilus had to be decided to be made. So, together with creating the world in those 6 days, at some point in time, was also created all of the whole Seder Shtalshus, all of the spiritual worlds which you know about, including Atzilus and anything else. So again, Breish Balakim, not only then was Eibishter expressing himself in creating the world, any mila which you can ever imagine, any spiritual level, any loftiness you can ever reach ever in our life, or anything which we know about, is all made then. Again, so what does this tell us? That the first of creation, Chafei El, was a expression which is beyond anything which you can ever imagine, right? This is something this is Eibishter creating the world, any level. The mind continues further, right? There could be creation in a way we don't sense ourselves to be created, which is generally the way we are now, right? The Eibishter didn't just create the world then; they were just creating the world every single second, right? They're just creating the world right now. So in other words, whatever happened to Sheshim Breish is essentially happening now too, in a certain sense. However, we don't feel now that we're being created by the Eibishter, right? And rightfully so. I'm saying, not even getting into the tzimtzum of it. The idea of creation, by definition, is a removed. It's a type of koyach. It's a type of pu'ula, which by definition is not sensed by the person which is being made. Again, let's not to get into all the details, but when the Eibishter creates something, the idea of creation means that I'm bridging opposites. The Eibishter is bridging opposites. The Eibishter is taking something which essentially shouldn't have been, never was. There's nothing about it which was like predictable to have happened. No, it was something which not only didn't exist yet technically, it didn't even exist theoretically, it didn't even exist potentially. There's no potential for the world to have existed, and the Eibishter made it exist. Which means essentially that creation is a very, very big chidush. It's a very big expression of bli gvul of the Eibishter, the Eibishter's ultimate power, ultimate koyach. If the Eibishter would let us sense, if we would sense that koyach in us, we'd be batal b'metzias. The whole idea of creation is that Hashem showing how powerful He could be. He's so powerful that He transcends limitations. He transcends limitations of existing or not existing. He's able to make something which didn't exist to exist. Right? Creation is a very, very unlimited, deep, powerful koyach. We can't sense it. If we'd sense it, we wouldn't be created. So shikol is a paradox of how it works. Yeah?
That's why it's koy.
Huh?
That's why it's koy.
In a way, but one second. We'll get back to the koy. I'm saying the reason why nowadays, like right now, we don't feel it. Every single second we're being created by Hashem. So really, in reality, we don't exist outside of the Eibishter. We can't exist without the Eibishter. The Eibishter is making you every single second. It means that you're not a real existence. It means that what you are is the koyach which is making you, right? At the same time, we don't sense it whatsoever because we're speaking about such a powerful koyach which is beyond our ability to connect to. We have no way to relate to such a thing. However, in the beginning of creation, this was sensed. Right? It says that Eibishter was yachid b'elomeh. The Eibishter, while creating a world, a physical world, a world with limitations, a mugbal gewalt, the Eibishter was sensed in this world. The world felt that it came from somewhere. The world felt that it was right now created from the Eibishter. Again, which is a very, very big Gilul Lakus, very big, like it's something which now we don't have. Yeah, in Sheish Mei Bereshis, the Koyach HaMahave, the Eibishter is creating the world, was sensed in every single creation. Right? So again, so now we have a few ideas. He's going like a few concepts. First, he said the world is created from Atzmos, 6 days of creation, especially in the first day. Then he says not only the world, the Gashlik world, but any Ruchnisik Madrega, El Matzilus, any Madrega which you know about was created then also. Then he's saying more than that. That the world felt itself being created. It means the world had a real Bittul Tolikusnet. Then he continues further. It says that together with Eibush creating the world, he also put into the world the potential that there is for our Avodah. Right? By Eibush saying Yi'ur, he's saying that I'm not just essential and all powerful and making the world mitzad my koyach, but I'm making the world ready that I should be sensed. I want to be expressed in the world as well. I'm giving you the koyach to express me. For whoever in the future will come and try to express me, I'm giving the potential for that to happen as well.
How does that explain why it says B'yom Rishon? So it says Yom
Echad. The fact that it says Yom Echad, Echad means that, in other words, all the other things says Yom Sheni, Yom Shlishi. Yom Echad is a different kind of connotation. Should have said Yom Rishon. Didn't say Yom Rishon. It says Yom Echad.
So by Yi'ur it says Yom Rishon.
So we have a big Yom Echad. Yeah, that's what said in the pasuk. Yom Echad means that the Eibishter was the only person, only thing there. Then, yeah.
So my Maamar should never by Yom Rishon.
That's not Lashon says in the pasuk, right? That's the Lashon saying in the Maamar. The pasuk says we have a big Yom Echad. Right? The Yom Echad is again hinting the fact that the Eibishter, it wasn't just, we're not counting the day. We're not just saying the day is number one. The day was in such a oifen that the Eibishter was the one. There was nothing except for the Eibishter then. Right? And then continues. The Eibishter makes a Ur, which was the Eibishter said Ur, which means that the Eibishter made a potential that we're able to reveal godliness in the world, reveal Eibishter's light. He quotes here Mamish Ben Ashur's one thing, but it's not as permit to get into it, that we're speaking about such a or which is Dilul Atzmei, such a or in itself, which is completely expressing the Eibishter in his pure form, not just a more filtered down or which is relating to the world, but the way the Eibishter weighs on his own. That's a discussion for itself. Siv Gimel continues another idea, not just in the first day of creation, all the 6 days, the world was in the level of Gan Eden. Right? So again, we have here a whole list of milas, a whole list of, before even a person's created, the world was already in a very, very good state. So after all that, what do we have to add already? What could there possibly be a mila after all the above that didn't exist already and that dafka a person brings in? And that's what he explains, the Reis of Gimel, the idea that we're able to transcend limitations, even the way the Eibishter should create the world. In other words, however high and however good all these above-mentioned things are, they all follow a certain seder the way the Eibishter made it. In other words, the Eibishter made the world with its full completion, with its full everything which there is inside, but it follows rules. It follows a order, follows a seder. A person with his avodah is able to break the whole seder. He's able to bring out that nothing, even mitzad Eibishter, even how the mitzad the tabernacle the Eibishter put in the world, nothing's absolute. Nothing has to be. We're able to change the whole thing. We're able to make it that a lower world, which Eibishter created to be lower, could have a connection to something which is completely beyond what the world is ever able to connect to. In other words, however much the Eibishter is expressing his ultimate koyach, the koyach ha'atzmi, in Brias Shemayim Va'aretz, and in the Gilur which the Eibishter made down in Sheis Mei Bereshis, at the same time, it was very clear that things follow order. There's a higher world, there's a lower world, there's something which is, there's the state of how the Eibishter created the world, right? How much the Eibishter is expressing himself, he's expressing himself dafke through limitations. And a person, through his avodah, is able to transcend limitations. So what does Zeh mean now, according to what we're explaining? Zeh doesn't just mean the same thing as Koi, just more tangible. Zeh means it's also a deeper level. To make Elokus tangible, to make Elokus in a way of Zeh, it means to tap in to something which is so deep, it's so across the board, that there is no rules. You break all boundaries, all limitations of rules of knowledge of nature of any rule that they should made to say In other words, zeh more than a koi. Koi means that the rule follows a rule, and there could be like a period and a place where the Eibishter is very revealed, but everything falls into this place. Zeh means there is no place. There's no nothing's predictable. A person could do Aveda and here Lamata and Elamazan Gashmi, and to bring down the highest level of Elukus in a place where it's not unimaginable how Elukus could ever go there. And the fourth is that this is something which is dafki done through Eden. Again, there's a Rabbi and the Kudnis of Dalit we'll discuss. And the idea is that this is what happens to Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah, we tap into this ability that every single person has to bring Gatlachai, bring godliness in the world in a revealed, tangible form. What's the Seder? Next time we'll start from Sivdal to explain how this dafkin a koyach of a Yid, Bez Hashem.